Hello and welcome to Make It Fairy Apothecary, traditional magic from modern world. This is Robin, and today I want to talk to you about orgonite. Orgonite is the name we commonly call this substance. It was first coined that name by Wilheim Reich. He spent his entire life studying this energetic effect that he called orgone, which we also call lifeforce, chi. And in his research, he concentrated a good deal on the sexual aspects, the yin-yang, the kundalini, and how that sexual energy kind of expressed itself into our life force. And he was building these great big boxes of it and putting people in it to try to cure them of diseases. And the FDA got a hold of him, went on a massive witch hunt, and he ended up dying a mysterious death, very Tesla-ish. All of his research was consequently burned in the largest act of censorship in the U.S. Enough of his research remained that people have, over the last 30, 40 years, worked with it and come up with their own versions of what he was intending. And I'm sure it's very hotly debated that it's not anything like what he had intended. It is my opinion that what we've come up with is really almost like a third element. It does have very measurable and specific effects. You can test it with a voltmeter. I may do that later. But it does tend to accumulate. It doesn't invent anything. It accumulates that energy field, that chi field. It sort of draws it, amplifies it. It blocks erratic frequencies. It tends to really align your chakras and bring up all of your energy, and just has an overall healing effect, has an overall sort of amplifying your basic life force energy. You can put these around the house, you can put them on your computer, you can put them in your pocket, you can wear them. And of course, I can personally complicate a peanut butter sandwich. So when I first started learning more about orgonite, how it was made, what it was for, I, of course, went looking for one that had all of the elements I could possibly think of together. I wanted one with moldavite that was shungite based with a matrix, selenite, had all the noble metals, and had my favorite sacred geometry, which is the Sri Yantra, which is the symbol of creation, because that's kind of my thing, is creating stuff. And I also wanted it to have a tensor ring, and I will do another video about tensor technology. I got fascinated with that watching Brian at Twisted Sage, and Brian Vesco at Twisted Sage, and I got one of his units. I was originally looking for something to help my brother, and nothing helps him. So anyway, I got very, very interested in that, started making them. So I couldn't find one that had all of the elements, so I made my own. So this is mine, with the Sri Yantra. I've got a little ametrine here. This is actually the Twisted Sage tensor, one of them. And of course I have one of my own wrapped around it, if you can see that. Inside of this, I have a Gibeon meteorite. I have smoky quartz, moldavite, labradorite. And of course, then the matrix I learned how to make from my research. It's what I believe is a good combination. There has to be a carbon element, organic and inorganic material, ground down to a fine dust and layered. So my base matrix is shungite based with tourmaline and mica. And then I have all the noble metals in it. I use chrome, silver, copper, and then I have a crushed crystal base that I add to it, and that has a lot of quartz, rose quartz, smoky quartz, selenite, fluorite. Sometimes I put emerald in it. If I have emeralds lying around, you never know. And then I layer it. Sometimes I put sage in it. I put tensor rings inside of the units, and these are quarter size, 144 hertz. And then they all have different sacred geometries on them. And once they're made, they're made. You can't switch the backs out because that's part of the making process. And you can do a lot of tests on them. You can measure it with a voltmeter. You can put them under one plant on one side of the room and then nothing on the other side of the room. You can put them on a piece of banana on one side of the room and not on the other. Do your own research. And I try to keep all of my things really, really, really reasonably priced. So I'm not in it to make millions. I want people to have access to these items. I call them devices because I consider them devices. A device is something that does something for you. And I believe these do something for me. They may or may not do something for you. I also, reach around. Oh, did you like that? I also make some that are just the Orgonite base matrix, and then I put the tensor ring on it, and this one has a face. Some of them have faces. Again, I can complicate a sandwich, but don't these look cool? So, email me at any time, and I will show you exactly what I have in stock. It changes all the time, and I make things because I make things. So, that's your talk on Orgonite. Orgonite is awesome. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. Go to your local rock shop, pick some up, hold it, see what you think about it, see if you get a vibration from it, if you get a sensation from it, or if you want to order your very own special Orgonite, like the one that I couldn't find. Make the things you wish existed, and then they will exist, right? Stay in the light, my friends. Orgonite is great. If you don't like my channel, change the station.